I went to a local carpenter. I'm building a giant wooden middle finger for you.
That's not nice. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up and this week's What Are the Odds? Your Major League Rugby sports betting show starring WWE legend and Fox Business analyst John Bradshaw Layfield, his gambling guru, the best sports bettor ever, the Philly Godfather, and our gift of rugby, Gift Egbelu of the Gift Time Rugby Network, host of the Grow Rugby Show, and director of the HBCU Rugby Classic. We just keep having one great week after the next, and this one was no exception. We had mixed results. 3 of us were 3-2, and one of us got the wooden spoon again, and it's Gift. Gift, congratulations on yet another wooden spoon.
These people just don't want me to be great. And I understand. It's hard having all this awesome and just taking another level, so I get it. But the games that mattered most, I got correct, and that's all that matters.
Gift, don't worry about nothing. When it comes to sports betting, the only thing that matters is what you do next.
There you go. That's it, Gift.
Exactly.
You just help it. You're just aiding him here. You're an enabler here. He's got to change things up a little bit, like use common sense once in a while.
This is online cyberbullying is what you're doing to Gift here. I mean, this is not nice.
It's okay. Look, I said we were going to end out May with a little bit of a toughie. We're going to start June. I got end of May, started June a little tough. We're coming back strong, all right? We're getting ready for playoff where it counts the most.
Playoffs?
Money wins.
Playoffs?
All right.
You know, Matt, you're cheating Gift a little bit because he did call Atlanta outright, and that's plus 300 on the money line. They were 10-point
300.
dogs. Yeah, 10-point dogs, whatever it was. That's probably
Fair
more
enough.
like, what, 500.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Round it up a little bit.
Fair enough, Godfather. And since you're so ready to chat, let's go right to Austin at Houston, in which Austin won 28-9, and there was but one guy that took Houston, and that was you, sir.
I'm trying to get you guys to catch up. I'm so far ahead, 61% on the season. You're like 57, 58%. Layfield's over there at 53%. He's still ahead of the game, and I don't even know where Gift's at. But I'm trying to give you guys a bone, and you still can't pass me. We all ended up 3-2. I gave you guys a loser in Houston. What else can I do for you guys?
This is like when Usain Bolt used to like hop on one leg just to let the other guys catch up. But then sometimes the guys didn't catch up. So me and Gift are having a hard time catching him. We don't care about catching you, Matt, because we don't like you.
As long as I crush you, John, I can sleep well at night. Gift, not so much. I want Gift, my fellow rugby brother, to come up the ranks. That's why I'm hard on him.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right.
Okay. That finish line is getting closer and closer, though, Gift. So we got to step it up now. All right.
This is you. You're a rat. You're like Steve Lewis's rat is what you are.
The rat to the lizard.
Yes, that's exactly what you are. You're
All right.
a rat.
All right. Any endorsement money that can come with that title, role, anything?
No. Steve Lewis doesn't like you either. You're just his rat.
I'm 3 games better than you on the season, just to let you know. Next one up, Atlanta went into NOLA, and we had NOLA getting 3 in their home field, and all of us got NOLA right. How about that, Gift? We got it right, and you were 2-0 to start this week.
As far as I'm concerned, Sunday games didn't exist. All right. It was a perfect day for my predictions. Everything else was lanyard. All right. We're just landing.
Saturday is a rugby day. That's what you were going with.
They played it exactly as was expected. They had the win, and just
when they're 5 meters out from the try line 100 times in this season and don't come up with anything, it's got to be driving the coaching staff of NOLA berserk. NOLA Nate Osborne, I know, was up to like 6 a.m. after this match trying to figure out what could have gone differently or but you got to just tip your cap to Atlanta. They're a good team. And it was an 8-7 game, Godfather. It was like, other than the 2-3 run bombs, it was a pitching duel.
Yeah, it was definitely a letdown spot for Atlanta after coming off that big win against LA. And I mean, plus the points, New Orleans. I'm surprised they didn't win the game outright, but they fought tough and we made some money.
And John, you had NOLA. You saw that one correctly.
You dang right I did. Yeah, you beat the Giltinis, you beat them at home, then you're traveling down to NOLA in the gold mine. There's still things called Bourbon Street. There's beads coming off the top floors with women revealing themselves. All kinds of things. It's right by Maria Laveau, right down from the freaking stadium. Gift has a cat named Smokey. Do I need to say any more? Okay?
Okay. The next one up, Godfather, we had San Diego going into Toronto, Atlanta, Ontario, as John aptly put it. And San Diego won this one by 10 points, 40-30. They covered the spread. And Gift, I looked directly into the lens and I said, picking Toronto was the stupidest thing that you and John did all season, and you did it anyway.
It was on me for expecting Toronto, a Canada team, to actually perform in the South, and they failed to be able to use the Power of Life University to their advantage.
Godfather, you and I got this game right. It seemed like it was shooting fish in a barrel, yet these two.
I mean, you can't blame them, too, because if you look at them on paper, they had basically the same record. Toronto had the better point differential, but as me and you saw through all that, those skewed statistics, San Diego's playing some great rugby right now, and it was the right side, and we made some money again this week.
And, John, you locked horns with Gift over the whole NOLA and Austin thing, the horns, you're flipping your hand, and you're a loser.
Yeah, but I'm a loser with my buddy Gift.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's right. Right. There's a good Southern connection going on down here that you don't seem to know anything about, all right? His cat Smizoki and I are pals too.
All right. Okay. I'm just, this is a gambling show. We're supposed to pick winners here. The Godfather and I are doing it. I'm not doing it at the level that the Godfather is, obviously, but I am really putting a distance between the three of us. And I'm going to continue to do that. But the next one up was even more curious. Utah at Seattle. Godfather, I asked you who got to you when you made this pick. And actually, it was, who did you get to for Utah to squeak by 1 point?
I have friends. Told me Seattle was going to cover. A couple envelopes were passed around. Can't say nothing else.
All right. Gift, the Mountain people. They came through, but they let us down as far as the spread was concerned.
Apparently, they decided to make Sunfire Stadium go from a black hole into an actual shining star for a moment. Every time we talk about these Mountain people, I never trust what they're going to do. They want to play great against the best and then the worst against the worst, and it doesn't make sense. Their win means nothing because they still struggled. Seattle pulled the luck of New York from them and started to get this back.
Jeff, you can't blame Utah. The travel, they were exhausted. Chasing around all those sheep in the mountains. It's tiring. You can't blame that Utah.
Yeah, being a shepherd is not easy, Gift. Come on. You're out all day. You're up in the weather. It's crazy. And they still won the game. But I don't know what your Seattle-New York comparison is there in terms of you threw out a bunch of stuff there. I'm really confused. And you also doubled down on Sunfire rather than Starfire, which was your best bounce back, acting like you know what you're talking about. That was great. John, did you make any sense out of it?
No, I didn't. And I was confused with the Mountain people because I thought it was George Mallory and Everest, and he died on the way down. He probably made it up there because he did not have the picture of his wife in his pocket when they found his body in 2000 at Conrad Anchor. It turns out it's more like Reinhold Messner, who lives in the Dolomites, the first guy to climb all 14 8,000-meter peaks, who at time and altitude would get delusional and see somebody right beside him. How do you trust somebody who sees somebody right beside him? That's what threw me off with this Starfire and this Sunfire. It was not George Mallory, it was Reinhold Messner, and not only Reinhold Messner, but his imaginary friend.
And Godfather, as you alluded to, Mallory was allegedly pushed, right? We were all pretty much on that front foot, as they say, after the first couple of 3 games, and then things started getting a little dicey. You had Old Glory, John, which was your moment to shine at New England, and we got to talk to that rugby wrap-up spread arm because they came up with 5 points, and it shouldn't have been 5. It should have been 3. It should have been that home 3, Godfather, and instead we were laying 5. And one guy won that one. John, take a bow.
This is a gambling show, in case you didn't know, Matt, and we bet according to points and point spreads. And I knew that 5 points was way too much for Old Glory going up into the Free Jack territory up in Boston where they froze Ted Williams' brain. And I knew they'd come away with a win by points. That's what we do. We're a gambling show.
Godfather, what was your take on this one?
We didn't cover the spread by a point. It's a loser. You got to rip the ticket up. And I'll never listen to you again taking New England.
Yep, that's right. You.
Gift, I was not alone in this. You took New England.
Look, my guy DeMonte Noble got his score in this game. And if it wasn't for him, this would have put me over the top. But we sacrificed for the people over here. Kudos to him and New England. You constantly let me down in the worst kind of times. Constantly.
I think constantly is the word of the day here. And we are constantly looking for sponsors and to keep our sponsors and to give you the best picks. So we're going to try to do that right after this break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer is Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. And we are back. We're in the home stretch of Major League Rugby's season 4. And it's just amazing that 2 things happened. A, they had no COVID cancellations. And B, we haven't killed each other on this show just yet. So let's go to NOLA going into DC. New Orleans -3 despite coming off the loss.
The drought ends this week. New Orleans did not end the home campaign on a good note. And I feel the Dragon is about to rise on this road game as they tied DC last time, and they're going to enter into that old glory and come out with the win and the points. Hallelujah. Get this now.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I think you put Gift on before me to confuse me and rattle my brain a little bit. I'm not sure if it's one of your pulleys, Matt. But
Gamesmanship.
And Gift brought up a good point last time these 2 teams played. It was 26-26 tied. I mean, NOLA has one more win on the year, but DC's point differential in the basement of rugby, -64. Give me New Orleans on the road, -3.
NOLA is a tough team to figure.
NOLA is a tough team to figure. They beat a great team last week. I think there's going to be a letdown. DC plays very well at home, and I was very happy with DC going up in a losing effort to come back and get that trial late. They got a lot of heart. They play tough. I'm going with the home dog in DC in Old Glory.
They're going to have free shuttles from different parts of Virginia and Maryland and discount on beer tickets. That in itself gets Old Glory very close in this one. But I'm going with NOLA.
This is the Chris Dunleavy and Paul Sheehy, who I like very much, that you were sitting in their hospitality tent betting against them while they were feeding you free alcohol, right?
Yes, and I even took it a step further, and I got my date, 6'5" date, a jacket because he came to the game without a jacket.
And Chris Dunleavy gave me a jacket.
Okay, who got it for you? Okay, I got
Chris
it for
Dunleavy did. He's
a
good man.
Wow, revisionist history, huh? Next time I let you shiver. I'll let you shiver.
How'd I shiver?
Toronto going into Austin, -5. The Gilgronis laying the 5. John, your Texans.
God bless Texas. And these foreign invaders, whether they come from Oklahoma or Toronto, even though they're living in Atlanta, they're foreign invaders coming into the heart of Texas, the capital of Texas, Austin, Texas. Run, Earl, run. That's all I got to say.
Run, Earl, run. The Tyler Rose, right?
Dang right.
Slap my ass with jelly and bury me in an anthill, John.
Why would I slap your ass with jelly?
That's what you do in Texas, right? No? All right, Gift.
If Montero is there, Toronto's going to play this tough. Austin, I feel, has been starting to see show their weakness. That being said, Austin is going to probably still take this one. This is at home. They got this. You can't trust Canada. Call it what it is. You don't trust Canada. This is why they're stuck at home and we get to walk out freely.
Did you notice progression here? When Gift started making a point, he wanted to make that point. He picked a pin up and he started using the pin. I'm not sure what all that meant, but there's some symbolism there.
Well, it's the Southern gentleman in him that won't just directly point. He's got to use the pen thing, right?
It's academic. We're academic here.
Academics, we are not. Godfather, what
I'm a little confused. Austin got the best defense in rugby. They struggled last week early against Houston, though, a little bit. I didn't like that. They got 2 more wins on the season. Point differential is about the same. Give me Toronto plus 5 points on the road.
Ooh.
I kind of agree with you on this one. Toronto is that broken arrow, that wounded animal, and their roster is going to get decimated more so than any other team because, as Gift refers to them as Canada, they have many members of Team Canada on their team. So they might have this kind of, hey, this is our last 2 weeks together thing that might rally them a little bit. So I'm going with the Godfather, and I'm insane, and I'm picking Toronto with the points, but Austin should win this one by 2 or 3 points. San Diego is going up to play the Mountain People, which is the Utah Warriors. -3, San Diego giving points to the home team.
Mountain People just played a 1-point game against Seattle. All right. They played a 1-point game against Seattle in it's now forever just Black Hole Stadium. You just suck the life out of you going into that place for some reason. All right. You don't shine, and neither are these Utah Warriors because you had the advantage of mountains. You have everything in your favor, but you know what? Sedity, or maybe we can call it passive LA because, they might be getting on fire. They're starting to get really meditative. Feel like they're getting zen into their role. They got that 10-point win against Toronto. So I'm putting this on San Diego, taking the points and the win because Utah is just not able to deal with the environmental change of weather.
He's got the pen going. I mean, when that man has that pen going, he sounds and looks very, very intelligent.
He waited until the second half to break it out, the second half of the season to break out the magic pen, John.
He did, and I agree with Gift here. San Diego is now on a roll. San Diego is a different team than they were earlier in the season. I think San Diego comes up and rolls all over the Mountain People.
Ooh, Godfather. What do you think?
You got the high altitude. That's a big advantage. Utah has a better overall record, better overall point differential. But San Diego beat them earlier in the year, and now they're playing better ball. Give me San Diego -3.
I'm going San Diego -3 as well.
You're a rat, and I've lost my rat here. I don't know where it went. It went down somewhere, and then when Gift started talking about the black hole, my rat disappeared. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. You're a rat. You wait until everybody picks, and then you see what Philly Godfather picks, and you're a parrot. That's all you are. Oh, I think on my own. After Philly Godfather said it, I'm going to go with.
So are you just getting it that I go last? Are you just figuring that out now? That's remarkable. You're sharp as a marble. I got to tell you, that's unbelievable. Hey, you got me. You swallow that thing. Anyway, next one up. Atlanta going to New York, St. John's University. This is another tough conference battle that's going to determine who makes the playoffs. Atlanta is laying 3 as the visitor, Godfather.
They had a tough battle previous week against NOLA. Barely won the game 8-7. New York really needs this game. It's just that their point differential is at 0 on the season, while Atlanta's a lot better. Oh, man, 3 points on the road in New York. New York's a tough place to play. Give me New York +3 at home.
Home dog. I'm going home dog. They had the Giltinis win in the New York and lose. I think Atlanta's going to get the same fate. New York is an underrated team, even though they're 7-3 right now, which is hard to be underrated when you're got that good a record. But they are. I think they're going to beat Atlanta, not just cover the spread, but beat Atlanta at home.
John, if a plane crashed on the border of New York and Michigan, where would they bury the survivors?
And I don't care where they bury them. I just hope that you're in the plane. That's all I hope. I hope that you're like flying there and they say, assume the crash position. And you go, what? And all of a sudden, bam! And then Gift is the host of What Are the Odds? And I think that would be good. And we bring somebody else that's got a bald head that would just mimic what Philly Godfather said.
All right, maybe we'll table that conversation and that question for another show. Gift, your turn.
Look back, April 11th. We're making history today, all right? Because Atlanta had a chance to use the power of Life University to take on New York, and they failed. And they failed hard. I don't want to hear about the game. It's early in the season and people trying to figure themselves out. They had the power of Life University and failed. You just came off a rivalry game where you barely won. In reality, you lost, but, people get lucky. You got to give this one up to the home dog. But Atlanta, no, this is a failed game. I don't have to work for Atlanta. New York, you finally get it. Disappoint me and you know what's going to happen. We're selecting violence.
I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going with New York. Even if they put out the same lineup that they had in D.C., they're playing good ball. I think that they're going to win this one at home.
Have you never not picked New York, Homer?
You know what, John? It's the whole season's a blur. I can't be sure. I can't be sure. So next one, Seattle going to New England. New England -4 against Seattle. John?
Long trip, and Seattle played well last week, but I think the trip's going to get them, and I think New England is kind of an erratic team, but they tend to play better at home. I'm kind of on the fence here, but I'm going to go with the home team and go with New England.
Gift, this looks like a perfect time for the Free Jacks to crap the bed.
They basically almost allowed that to happen last week. This would be a perfect setting for them to continue that trend if it wasn't for Seattle. New England will reclaim and get the points on this and make up for being completely inept, in my opinion, last week against Old Glory.
You're not taking into consideration that Seattle's losses this season have been by very few points. Oh, a number of them. They do have some good players on that roster, and they have locked up their very good coach in Alan Clark now. Does this translate and make this game tighter or even a Seattle win on the road?
Absolutely not. Seattle's got the second worst record, second worst point differential in the season. They played their hearts out last week. They covered the spread, thank God for me, maybe some money, but they're not going to do it this week. New England last week didn't cover this week. I'm going to actually lay 6 plus 180. So I think they're going to win by more than 6 points and give me some plus money on this. I don't even need the 4. I'll lay the 6.
You're going to lay 6, Godfather, just because you're showing off?
I'm going to crush it.
John, it's my turn to pick after the Godfather, so I like what he said.
Okay. Get out of Steve Lewis's hindquarters and go up Billy Godfather's hindquarters.
All right.
Go ahead. Crawl on up.
I'm going to shave. I'm going to wear a nice shirt, maybe a jacket, and stuff my nose as far up Philly Godfather's ass as I can.
Unbelievable.
Continue.
If you turned real fast, it'd break your nose.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Godfather on this one. Next one, Houston SaberCats, John, going to Los Angeles. It's just LA -11, John. What do you got?
1920. The New York Yankees, right after the 1919 pandemic was a Spanish flu, it took them 3 years before they won a championship, despite George Herman, Babe Ruth, the Bambino, batting .376, hitting 54 home runs with Wally Pipp on the same roster. They finished third, behind the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians, who were first in the AL. 3 years away. Houston is 3 years away from winning a championship. They're going to get killed by the Giltinis.
Excellent points. Gift?
Oh, man, I just came from Houston not too long ago. Great city, nice area, very spread out. Seems a little bit more than what it should be, a little overcompensating.
Overcompensating for what?
Too much space. You're trying to take too much land space. You don't need that much city, all right? Break it up.
So you're advocating breaking up Houston?
I am advocating breaking up this terrible season that Houston has been having lately with another loss by LA.
Just when you think you've heard the most ridiculous thing on the planet, you hear something else. Godfather?
A wise old man once told me, his name was Vito Shakespeare. He said, to be the man, you got to whack the boss. But there's no way you can whack the boss here. I mean, LA's going to crush this team. 11 ain't enough. It's going to get ugly.
It's like whack the weasel, John. You know what that's all about. But LA is going to show everybody they're back at home. They're at the Coliseum. They're going to treat the SaberCats like Christians at the Coliseum in Rome, and they're going to destroy them. And that's unfortunate for Houston. They just don't have the firepower. And LA, after a couple of tough games on the road, they're going to win this one by at least 2 touchdowns if you're a football fan. If I'm not mistaken, guys, I think that's it. Been a fun ride so far, John.
That's not a question. That's not even a lead-in.
All right, let's go to Gift, because you don't need a question or a lead-in with Gift.
This is going to be the week where we start coming back. This is how it begins.
Is that team Gift that you're referring to as we?
It is as it needs to be specific for that.
It's the gift of maniacs.
Giftomaniacs. Yes. Godfather?
Oh, I remember Vito Shakespeare. He also said, to be or not to be, that is the question. And right now, I'd be on fire. 61%. Take LA, take New England, put them in a parlay, make some more money.
Call me crazy, but I think you're like the Michael Jordan of What Are the Odds? Boom. It just happens to be there.
Could you be any more blatant of a suck up? I mean, any more than what you are? I think it's an impossibility.
And on that note, we are out of time, but I want to thank my colleagues, WWE Hall of Famer John Bradshaw Layfield, the best goddamn sports bettor ever in the Philly Godfather, and the gift to rugby and mankind, Gift Egbelu. I'm Matt McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, please tune in next week. But in the meantime, check out our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, Martial Law, the Zack Attack, and please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.